Imagine finding out your partner is sleeping with someone else. Now imagine the person they are sleeping with is your best friend. The immediate human reaction is raw outrage. Trust shatters. You burn the bridges and walk away. In William Shakespeare's Sonnet 42, the speaker takes a highly unusual route. Instead of getting angry, he twists his own pain into a knot of complicated logic, actively trying to find a way to excuse the people who hurt him. This poem belongs to a specific historical collection, published in 1609. It sits squarely inside the Fair Youth sequence, a group of sonnets addressed to a young man the speaker deeply admires. To understand the speaker's reaction here, we have to look at the two poems that come right before it. In Sonnets 40 and 41, the speaker discovers a painful truth. His beloved woman and this deeply admired young man have started a romantic affair behind his back. This creates a massive psychological contradiction. The speaker claims that betrayal is actually a pain he can endure. The deeper wound comes from the identity of the thief. The young man who took her away is a highly trusted confidant. Romantic heartbreak hurts, but the violation of friendship cuts even deeper. The speaker is caught in a collision between two loves, and a betrayal by a friend feels far more isolating than a failing romance. By explicitly prioritizing the damaged friendship over the lost romance, the speaker lays out his main goal. He wants to keep his friend, and to do that, he has to start performing mental gymnastics to excuse his friend's actions. Moving into the middle section of the poem, the speaker actively searches for a silver lining. He begins constructing a narrative to make the situation tolerable. The speaker argues his friend, this node, is drawn to the woman because he knows the speaker loves her. In reverse, the woman loves the young man because she knows the speaker loves him, creating an enclosed, circular feedback loop of affection. Inside this unusual emotional circle, every action revolves around the speaker. Therefore, he figures, whatever romantic joy the young man gets out of this affair is actually a benefit to the speaker as well. As the speaker moves through the three distinct quatrains of the sonnet, his reasoning becomes noticeably more strained. He uses the poem's progression to stack excuse upon excuse, showing how a mind in pain works harder and harder to keep a failing argument together. Of course, the logic is completely flawed. This is a desperate coping mechanism. The speaker is reshaping a bitter reality into a shape he can force himself to swallow. Shakespearean sonnets traditionally reserve their final two lines, the couplet, for an emotional twist or a concluding argument. Here, the speaker delivers his most extreme claim yet. He and the young man are so closely bound that they are effectively a single entity. He uses this idea to make one final, desperate deduction. If he and his friend are one person, then when the woman loves the friend, she is technically still loving the speaker. On paper, this final twist sounds neat. It offers a comforting resolution. But underneath the clever wordplay, it exposes a profound emotional vulnerability. It is the absolute peak of the speaker's delusion. Strip away the clever rhetoric, and the argument collapses. The mental shield fails. He hasn't reasoned his agony away. The pain is still unmistakably there. This reflects a common psychological impulse. When faced with a betrayal too heavy to carry, people often reshape the facts into a story that feels safer to live with. Shakespeare maps out the specific mechanics of this self-deception. He shows how the mind uses logic as a protective shield, prioritizing emotional survival over the cold reality of the situation. Sonnet 42 shows us that sometimes the elaborate stories we tell ourselves aren't meant to prove a logical truth. They are simply the tools we use to survive a broken heart.